Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Gemini in February 2021. What's going on, Gemini? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, friends, welcome to February. Wherever you are in the world right now, Gemini, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, even perfect strangers. Things are crazy, guys. Things are a little, topsy-turvy. So wherever you can, guys, please make good choices. Please choose kindness. Please choose goodness. Exhibit that in yourself. Choose when you can to act in kindness and goodness, because frankly the world needs it. Don't want to get too heavy into it, but I think you kind of know what I'm driving at, that a lot of things can go very sideways in our world at this time and in the near future, but that's all preventable based on what we choose to do, how we choose to show up. And if we choose kindness, choose goodness, choose compassion and other things like that locally, within our families and with our friends, and also in our communities, also where we live publicly and how we show up publicly, all that stuff. Okay. Anyway, not to get into anything. Gemini, this is going to be your overview for February. We're going to get hopefully a total of 6 cards for your main story. We'll get an outcome and overall energy. We'll talk about all of them, but we're going to start with these 3 cards. But before we do, if you want the timestamp, it's down in the description box. Click it. That's what I put it there for if you want to. Also down there, information on how to order a personal reading with me if you're interested. If you have a question before you place an order for a reading, feel free to email me at the same address you see listed there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, which I have unintentionally neglected, but your girl had to have a unplugging from tarot for a while, so I really just left it about a month or so ago, but I'm eventually going to go back and start posting there again. But anyway, if you want to follow me, the link for my Instagram is down below as well. Okay. And I mentioned it to Taurus, I'll mention it to you guys. Happy Valentine's Day if you're into that. Hopefully if you and your boo-boo or boo-boos, if you go that route, have an amazing day, and good times hopefully had by all. Okay. All right, guys, let's see what is shaking with your story in February. Queen of Wands came out, Devil came out, and then Seven of Swords came out. Okay, so Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be dealing with a fire sign. You don't have to be. Devil is major arcana for Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. You don't have to be. Any sign I mentioned that is not your own, please take it with a grain of salt. Again, you could be dealing with them or you don't have to be. And the Seven of Swords. Also, it's a general, so there's no gender. So if I say he, but you know it's a she, that's perfectly all right, and vice versa. And it is a general reading, so if I say you, but it's not you, you're a cross-watcher, and you're like, hey, that applies to me. Perfect. Take it. It all can be reinterpreted as it resonates in your story, it resonates in your life. However, don't force a story to fit your life, okay? So, Queen of Wands, Devil, and Seven of Swords, guys. Let's get into it. Well, I mean, on its face, it's seeming as if someone feels very stuck to a person or stuck in a situation or somehow being led astray, uncomfortable. I mean, is being led astray comfortable? But they're making me say uncomfortably so, or possibly like it's a little over the top. But someone feels like they're tied to someone or a situation that is always and forever misleading them, lying to them, mistreating them, not honoring them, not honoring the truth, or erring on the side of truth, something like that. And there's a nefarious element here. I gotta be honest. This Devil energy, particularly in this deck, the Lynn Strider deck, this feels really dark. I gotta be honest. This feels very dark. And, not saying it's evil, because I don't believe in evil personally, okay? But it feels that way. It's like how someone's interpreting it, like this situation, this person, something here is of the dark means. I believe in dark arts. I believe in you can harness quote unquote negative energies for your own purposes. I believe in that. But as far as an ultimate evil, which someone might believe in, I personally do not. I'm not here to challenge. I'm not here to say one way is better than the other or anything. It's just, I just want to put that out there. But someone feels that way. They feel like they're tied to it, or someone is tying them to that, a situation that has all of that in it. Okay? It could be overbearing, like parents or some type of role model is coming through. The Queen of Wands, a role model, right? Someone that we look to for inspiration, look to for guidance or advice. So again, like a parental figure, if it's a personal, it doesn't have to be your parents, but they might be like an aunt or like a cousin, or they could be a best friend, something like that. Again, no gender, no zodiac sign other than yours, Gemini, that I'm really going to hammer on unless it is, slapping me in the face. But it feels like that, like somebody that we admire, we look up to, and possibly feeling that we have been led astray by that person. That person possibly was playing the good guy or the good girl, but all the time they had ill intentions, or all the time they had underhanded methods or means or outcomes in mind, or they just weren't as upstanding as we thought they were, right? On their face, or in the high vibe of what the Queen of Wands is, it's an intelligent person, it's a creative person, it's a person who has innovative thoughts, what the hell is that? Creative thoughts, or they're innovative, thank you, they're a creative type. They don't have to be exclusively in terms of what creative can mean to us, but they're somebody who's about something. They have some type of substantial characteristics. They have charisma, they have talent, all those kinds of things in high vibe and on the face of this card and this energy and the person that this might, be showing up in your life as. But underneath it all, that's not the case of this person. This person is deceitful. This person is a liar. This person is a shisty type person, a shyster, right? They have selfish means, devil energy. They have means and desires that are aligned with power dynamics and power play. Like, I'm getting that, interestingly, in my mind, this is how it came through, because you see these two figures on the devil card, how they're tied to each other with ropes or whatever. Like, that totally gave me like a dominatrix vibe. Not to say this person is, or you are, a dominatrix or something, or this has anything to do with sex. It may not, but there's this aspect in dominatrix work in BDSM, from what I understand, is that it's often not about necessarily the pain or the restriction or the, those things they come into play, but the foundation of those relationships, of those kinks, of those fetishes is about power. Who has it and who does not have it. And it's a very clear line when we're talking about a dom and a sub. It's never the sub has power on Saturdays. The sub never has power. And that's what the dom wants. And in terms of consensual fetishisms, that's what the sub wants too. But we're not talking about that. That's just for me to explain the very, 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 very obvious difference between the Queen of Wands and other people in the situation. The Queen of Wands always knew from the get-go that they were the dom, that they had the power. But, because again, this is not about BDSM, this is not about fetishism, but they couldn't say that outright. So they had to give an illusion, devil plus 7 of swords, that showed that the power was shared, the power was equal. I'm just a messenger. I'm just looking out for your best interest. Da 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 da. All that feigned interest in your well-being or the well-being of others, fake. The entire time, this person, the dom, okay, had all the power. Called all the shots, and it was a game or some type of puppetry. What is this? Pageantry or something like that, where it was a show. It's not real. Because again, going back to this, it's still in my head, this idea of a dom and a sub. I mean, I guess in some extreme cases that I'm sure like HBO or Cinemax or TLC or whatever, they could document. But most people don't live in a dom sub relationship 24/7. That's like for the weekends. That's for like when you've had a lot of stress and you can't take all the responsibilities in your life and you call up, you know, dominatrix, you know, Rochelle or whatever, I don't know. And you're like, mistress, I need to see you. You know what I mean? To get that stress off of yourself. Most people don't do that day in, day out. But that's what was happening here because this is real life. Okay? So somebody literally was playing a dominatrix but faking it. You know, feigning, oh, I don't really have power. Oh, I don't really know. You know, oh, we're all in this together. Bullshit. I'm the one calling the I'm the one calling the shots. I'm the one pulling the strings here. Now, I don't know who this is. You know, Gemini, this could be you, could be someone else. It's a general, right? But it's all a game, possibly to this person. Because, yes, because, well, let me try and phrase this a different way. It's not that it's all a game. It's that they desire power and control and influence above anything else. They don't desire money per se, or I suppose if they desired money, if they desired people, relationships, if they desired tangible things, if they desired all those things, it was all rooted in power, influence, control. If I have all of those three things, right? Power, influence, control, then I also would have power, or access to money, people, resources, other people's love and affection, other people's bodies. If this was a sexual connection, right? If it was a romantic or sexual connection, then I have access to people's power, access to people's time, money, and whatever. Do you get what I mean? It's like a web. It's like a network. It connects. It all connects. So if I have power, influence, and control, then I also have people's time, money, energy, effort. I also have this person's loyalty. Again, like in that dom sub thing, you'll do what I tell you to do. Do you get what I mean? And that is a designed outcome, or not a designed outcome, a desired outcome. Devil is lustful energy sometimes, right? It talks about our I don't want to say darker, but our basal, like our very like carnal desires. And carnal not necessarily always meaning sex, but like it's like animalistic. It's like instinctual. I must do this. I must have this to survive. Maybe that's it. Survival. Okay, so someone needs these things in their mind in order to survive. So, okay, there it is. For some, this, not for everybody, because I don't like using this word. It's a little overplayed, and I don't have the authority to use this word entirely because it actually has medical and psychological ramifications. But in some of your cases, you're dealing with a narcissist. Okay, you're dealing with a person who cannot survive without power, influence, and control. And in order to have those things in social situations, you can't walk up to someone and say, hi, my name is Gemini. Will you give me total power, influence, and control over you? Again, unless we're talking in a BDSM fetish circle, that's not what most people desire. Most people don't want others to control them, to have power and influence over them, right? You don't just throw that shit away and you just don't hand it over to a person. You have to do some conniving to get it. Seven of Swords. You have to do a whole song and a dance. You have to make up this whole series of lies, this whole life that is based off of falseness in order to get to that goal. That is who this is. You, another person, I don't know. So, and and again, if that word makes a difference to you, have at it. I don't throw it around lightly because I think it has a bigger implication than I think many people in the general public, no offense to anybody, it's just a big word that I think is tossed around a little too much. Because number one, it's a true personality disorder, number one. And number two, I'm not an authority enough to know what is workable when it comes to narcissism. Not a narcissist, but narcissism. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's get some more information here for Gemini. I don't know who this is. Oh, going back to that before I get into it, how I mentioned a parental figure. And the devil is, as it's related to Capricorn, can lend itself to aspects of fatherhood or the archetype of the father. So for some of you, this is a parent or both of your parents. And they have always wanted or have always had some type of power, influence, and control over you. How far that goes, how deep that goes, how long that's been happening, I don't know. How nefarious, malicious, malignant that is, I don't know. You know, okay? But that's who you're dealing with. Someone who wants that more than anything else in this world. No matter, where they fall on the scale or how closely they are aligned with the diagnosable aspects of what it means to be a narcissist, I don't know, but that's what somebody wants. And before we can move on, okay, so let's say, like I told you, you don't walk up to a person and say, hi, my name is Gemini, give me all the control, influence, and power that you can give to me so that I can have it over you. That's not how relationships work, of any type. Family, friends, lovers, I don't care. That's not how it works, right? What naturally works is that we have reciprocal exchange of energy. Sometimes I'm the dominant person in the situation. Sometimes you're the less dominant person and vice versa, and there's an ebb and a flow to who possibly is driving the car at the moment. Do you get what I mean? And I feel here you see how these two people are hiding their faces, possibly in shame, guilt, embarrassment. It's not, listen, it's not me sympathizing, but I am an empathic person. Some of you Geminis, yourselves, or you're dealing with people who have never learned that skill of reciprocal exchange, of give and take in a relationship. They only know take. They don't know how to give. Okay? Not an excuse, just further insight into who this person might be in your life. They don't know how to give. And the devil, as far as an archetype, both inside of tarot and outside of tarot, is also a character that doesn't know how to give, only knows how to take. Okay? And that's not, a dig at Capricorns. All right, so let's get into it. What else is going on here for Gemini? Show me. What else is going on in this story for Gemini in February 2021? Please show me. Whoa. Yeah. Sure. They're like, yeah, sure. Which way are we going with this? We'll go this way. Yeah, we'll go that way. So that's 2. One more, please. For Gemini in February 2021. I wish this heat would cut off. It is too hot in here. All right. One more for, excuse me, not one more, but let's also get the outcome at this time for Gemini in this story. What's the outcome of this story? Potential outcome for them, please. Show me. Thank you. And the bottom of the deck is going to be here. Eesh. Eesh, eesh, eesh. All right. So what fell out? That's going to give us a fuller picture of your story. High Priestess. Secondary major for Cancer. You might be dealing with a Cancer or not. 7 of Wands. And the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you might be dealing with or not. All right. And we'll talk about the outcome and the overall in a little bit. So, some of you Geminis or the people you're dealing with, it could be vice versa. This is a rude awakening. This relationship, whether it's been in your life your entire life, again, with your parents or some family friend or your brother, your sister, your auntie, your grandmother, whoever. But, pardon me, coming to this conclusion, maybe not conclusion, again, I think it's more of a realization, yes, more of a realization with the High Priestess. It's a rude awakening. It's not pleasant. In fact, there could be some infighting here, 7 of Wands, particularly if this is a family situation or a friend situation. You're going to possibly be taking chunks out of people that you love very much, or they're doing it to you or something like that. But I do feel like this person has created trauma. This person is the common denominator if we're talking about several disputes within a family circle or a friendship circle or even a professional setting, right? If this is a boss or if this is a coworker, they're malignant, right? They're not a team player. They've had underhanded means in terms of their business practices. And when you look at where your company has lost money, where you're getting bad reviews online because of your business that are aimed at your business, this person is always in the story, whether you're aware of it or not. Yes. And their behavior, their choices, their outlook, their perception, their words, everything they do in some form or fashion and to various degrees is creating a toxic turmoil, a turmoil, like some kind of, what's this, bubbling. It's like constant agitation, something like that. And for some of you or someone in this situation, you see the goat, how the goat looks so afraid and is like teetering on the edge, and down below it's like that fox or something, whatever. Like the goat looks so scared, like someone is walking on eggshells, possibly fearing for their safety, things like that. Because the situation they're involved in, where this person on the top line that we discussed for about 20 minutes, right? This person creates a volatile situation. They created a volatile environment. They are somebody who agitates others. And it could be you, Gemini, High Priestess perhaps, or Queen of Cups, or it's someone else in your situation, might be highly aware of how this person, the common denominator, is ruffling feathers, is putting people on edge. And to call that out, ironically, is only going to disturb things more, is kind of what this feels like. So let's say it this way. And again, this is like very general understanding that I have of narcissism. Again, I'm not at all an authority on the subject. I'm not a doctor, so don't take this as diagnosable or certifiable advice or anything like that. But from what I understand, many narcissists, not all, but many, victimize themselves, which then gets people to rally around them and protect them because they victimize themselves. They shift blame. They are really, in terms of Seven of Swords, really masterful in, what do you call that? Oh God, deflection. Deflective tactics are on point with this person, so much so that they have other people, possibly even the victims of their own manipulation, who defend them. The abuser is protected by those that they have abused. That happens more often than not in all kinds of situations with family, friends, public people, personas, public personas, professional people, right? And on all kinds of levels. Like, I have seen some documentaries, I've read some stories. I know a couple of people that have literally gone to bat for the person that abused them, for the person that caused them harm. And again, that's that that's that deep manipulation that's present in the devil. Hi, give me all your power, control. Why did I say that? Control, and influence. Give it to me. You don't win by just demanding that up front. You have to play a whole game and convince a person to give it to you willfully. It'd be much easier if it was the sub-dom thing that I was describing earlier, right? Because on the surface, everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows. But that's not how this person operates. That's not how this person has succeeded. They have done it through manipulative means. They've played a game. They have pulled the wool over your eyes or someone else's eyes or everybody's eyes, to the point that someone is going to bat for them and stepping up and saying, hey, you shouldn't talk that way about that person. Or, hey, why would you say things like that? That's not true. And the deep insight that someone else has is surrounding, what do you call this? enclave. I don't know why this word is coming through. Enclave. It's an that's not the right word, but it's like enclosing. Maybe that's it. Okay, there we go. It's like enclosing the turmoil and the trauma that has been created. So I'm interpreting that visually as like if this was a fire, and I don't know shit about firefighting, so again, don't take my word on this, but let's say there's a fire. And in order to prevent the fire from spreading, because that's what fire does, it spreads, right? So I don't know that this is how you do it, but this is how it's being shown to me. So in order to contain this fire, we have to encircle it with some type of deterrent or something that would prevent the fire from spreading. So we're going to douse this area around the fire with water so that as it approaches, it can only expand so far. It can't go wild. It can't be, an uncontrollable fire. We have to contain the fire. Do you get what I mean? So someone's insight, spiritual insight, higher awareness of the situation, of the people, or particularly this person in the situation, that is trying to contain this kerfuffle of the Seven of Wands. It could be coming from a highly sensitive person, Queen of Cups. Doesn't have to be a water sign, right? But somebody who possibly has a clair ability, is in touch with one of their clairs, clairsentience, clairaudience, something like that. A highly sensitive person, an empathic person, possibly a psychic person. Or, since you're watching this video, whoever you are, it could be you, right? So there's a higher awareness that someone has on the peripheral, the border of this story, or of the central energy, or the central action, of this reading. And there's an awareness of how this person factors into this madness here. And this person, let me tell you, this Queen of Wands is so traditionally, in terms of tarot, boisterous, laughs loud in a crowd, is visually stunning or captivating, very charismatic. In this reading, those elements may have been there in the past and they might pop up, but this person, because the heat is on, because awareness is looming, quiet as a mouse, has retracted into the shadows of the devil and the Seven of Swords energy. The jig is almost up here, and they know it. And instead of fighting for themselves, because that's what a narcissist does not do, they cannot take conflict head on, they retract and let their lower, careful, I don't, don't want to do that, don't want to say that. But they're letting the people that they have orchestrated, puppeteered, step forward and do the battle for them. All right? Outcome in this situation, Nine of Swords. Okay. So here's that rude awakening. Here's what, literally a rude awakening. Someone possibly is not sleeping well, not eating well, not resting well, has a ton of anxiety, right? Has a ton of sleepless nights, or nights where dreams or thoughts just will not be quiet, will not subside, okay? This could be the Queen of Wands, if they're not a narcissist. I don't think narcissists usually lose sleep, especially those, I presume, I do not know, I'm not an authority on the matter, but I presume a deep narcissist, whatever, I don't know how you would categorize them or what their term is. I assume they just don't lose sleep because it's a personality disorder. They think that the way that they are is fine and everything's hunky-dory. So it's probably, in most cases, not the Queen of Wands. In some cases, it will be for those where this isn't a narcissist. This could be someone, I didn't mention it. Let me go back here real quick. Devil can talk about someone having addictions, fixations, compulsions, obsessions, things like that. So this could be someone who acts poorly and seeks power, control, and influence in order to feed their addiction. Whether it be an addiction to drugs. We talked about BDSM, so maybe they have some type of sex addiction. And not saying that BDSM or fetishism is addiction. It's not. But some people might have an addiction to that, right? And this could be, It could literally be somebody in the marriage or somebody in the home has a kink, and that kink is starting to show, and maybe that kink involves having to spend money on certain accoutrement, right? Certain equipment, certain outfits, okay? And somebody's wants that compulsion and that obsession and that fixation satisfied, and they do it at all costs, okay? So just to be fair, this is not all about narcissistic people. Now, it could be that person who's in the obsessive compulsive addiction category. They could be having the sleepless nights, knowing that their own inclinations is essentially ruining something for them. In other cases, it's one of these people, the high priestess or somebody who's in the Seven of Wands, who's losing sleep, who's coming to a rude awakening and aware now that possibly they've been duped. They've been duped. They've been misled by the Queen of Wands. I thought I could trust that person. Turns out I couldn't. What a fool I was. Maybe. Okay. Or it could be this person who's worried about the well-being of themselves or other people. I wish everybody knew what I knew about the Queen of Wands. Why don't they see the truth? Why don't they know that this person means them harm? Why don't they know that they can't trust this person? Whoever this is. And it could be happening simultaneously. Many of those different perspectives, those different people can all be having sleepless nights. Do you get me? So it doesn't have to be one person and everybody else in the story is just like, what a lovely, night's rest I had last night. And somebody's just like, I got an hour and a half of sleep. And they're totally drained, right? So there was something else I wanted to say here and I don't remember. So I'm not sure that it's important. Let me see. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not really coming to me. There was something else out here that I feel like I wanted to say, but it's not coming to me. So we're going to move on. Overall energy for you guys in February, Gemini, is the Three of Swords. So somebody's feelings are hurt. Somebody's really, really distraught over this. This is really upsetting to a person. And if not one person, multiple people. Because Three of Swords, threes in general can talk about multiple people. Third party situation, that cliched phrase that we have here in the spiritual community, in the tarot community, right? And that might be at play for some of you. I didn't really feel that, so I don't really want to address it too heavily, but that might be at play for some of you. There might have been some type of third party situation, whether that be romantic or otherwise, okay? If it fits for you, perfect. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But there is this sense of like everybody here is kind of miffed or hurt or disappointed or angry or upset. And it cuts deep because at some point there was trust in the situation. There was fidelity in the situation at some point. And now it's gone. It's been violated. It's been thrown out the window, whatever. It's no longer true. And that upsets people. And again, someone is from the perspective of, oh no, I'm losing my footing in this situation. I'm losing people's acquiescence. When you acquiesce something, when you give it over, you relinquish of your free will, whether you're aware you're getting duped or not. When someone starts to wise up and say, hey, I've got questions, or hey, I've got concerns, or hey, wait a minute, I don't feel good about what you just did or said, that then would upset the Queen of Wands, would it not? Oh no, you're catching on to my ruse. Yeah. That upsets them in the Three of Swords, that they're being found out. It upsets the person who was victimized. The abused, perhaps, is finally waking up. Maybe. And it upsets the person who's known all along and couldn't step in and save anybody. Do you get what I mean? That's three different ways that three different perspectives share in the Three of Swords. Disappointed, hurt, upset, heartbroken, betrayed, etc. Okay? I think yeah. It's coming through late in the game. I'm not sure that this is exactly what was meant to be said here, but this could have been like someone you trusted to do something for you. Because Wands indicates action, and like I said, the Queen of Wands in high vibe, number one, Queen of Wands, whoever they are, they're not in high vibe. They're not. But if they were, this would be someone that you could trust. This would be someone who could go to bat for you, or perform a task for you, or could be trusted to deliver on something, a project, something like that. Can I trust you to get this work done? Queen of Wands, absolutely, could do it if they were in high vibe. And at some point, they may have been, or they persuaded people to believe that they were. So what I'm sensing is potentially someone here could have been trusted to complete a project, trusted to utilize resources the right way, and they didn't. Could have been someone who was trusted to make a wise investment. They did not. Or they embezzled, or they just pocketed the profits and reported loss. That's embezzlement. And they're like, Jay, that's embezzlement. Okay, so you get what I mean? So there's all different ways that this is coming out. Whatever works, whatever fit for your life. Gemini, that's your reading. If it resonated with you, and if you want to share how it resonated, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to read that. If you like this reading and you got something out of it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please hit the subscription button and hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload to the channel, okay? Gemini, if you want a reading from me, again, check out how to do so below in the description box. I'll be back soon to do your mid-February readings. If you want to see your general overview for January, check out your playlist that I created for 2021. Go back and check out 2020, 2019, 2018, whatever you want to do. It's all organized and there for your viewing pleasures. And I appreciate you guys watching this video so much. Take care.